Becoming rich in order to enjoy life to its fullest is a goal for many people, and I'm guessing it's one of yours because you clicked on this video. I myself work on a daily basis with the desire to achieve ambitious objectives in order to become rich. Becoming rich is a pretty broad goal because everyone has a different sense to that word. For example, I want to become rich so I can spend life stress-free, don't worry about anything financial, and just live life how I want to. But for some, becoming rich isn't even an objective. Really, all they're going for is for that legacy. They want to be remembered as someone who achieved a lot. If you also wish to become rich, you understand that that implies a lot of time and effort dedicated to that goal. Something that's pretty universal about the term becoming rich is that it implies you have enough money to do whatever it is you want with your life. By studying the mentality of the people among the richest 1% on the planet, I was able to identify 10 mindset differences that separate them from the people who can't achieve wealth. In this video, I'll cover 10 frequent mindset differences that separate the two so you can do a self-diagnosis on your own situation. Then you'll be able to know if you're in the right direction with your mindset, or more importantly, if you need to make any adjustments. Number 1, they quickly take action. Once they have an idea, they're not scared to try it out and see where it goes. They give it a shot and they don't procrastinate or tell themselves they'll do it later, because we all know how that normally goes. The richest 1% all have a taste for action, and I'd say they all love it. Meaning, as soon as an opportunity presents itself, they know how to take massive and immediate action to seize it. Once you understand that failure is a stepping stone towards success, you'll be less afraid to take action quickly. Number 2, they read a lot. Knowledge is built over time, and it's not something that you'll just get out of nowhere. It'll take years and years in order to just learn, read, and just be able to take the most information you can. The richest 1% spend time reading every single day. They read books, articles, even sometimes fiction. What they do successfully is they find time to learn new things, and they never tell themselves that they're done learning. I often find myself recalling things that I read in a book or just that I heard in a podcast. So those constant ideas being said can really help you towards your goals. And you can read audiobooks, or you can just have a physical book, and it really comes down to what you prefer. Personally, I find it hard to just have an audiobook because every single sentence is meant to have value in it. And for me, when I'm on the go, I still have to be paying attention to the road, or I can't just not think and only pay attention to the book. I still have other things that I need to be looking out for. So on the go, I like a podcast because it's normally just people talking, and then out of nowhere they tell a nice tip, something useful. I normally prefer a podcast over an audiobook because it's less value packed, but it's more of like a conversation. It's easier to listen to, but that's just my preference. And I usually read right before going to bed because it helps me calm down and just relax and take my mind off things. For example, right now I'm rereading Crushing It by Gary Vee. Number 3, they're constantly looking to deepen their knowledge. And this goes well with number 2 because reading is all about just continuous learning. But number 3 goes more into depth with that idea of constantly learning. The richest 1% have long understood that after graduating from college or university, that's only the base foundation for the rest of the learning you'll be doing in the rest of your life. And there's one thing that they really focus on, and that's they never stop learning. To see if this fits with your characteristics and how you think, if you're not prepared to constantly challenge yourself in order to deepen your knowledge, you will most likely not be successful in your life. In addition, the richest 1% seek to educate themselves with a critical eye. They don't want to just learn what everyone else is learning. They always go more into detail, more in depth into those news articles that just have those flashy headlines. Like I said earlier, this goes hand in hand with reading every day, but here's other ways that you can deepen your knowledge. Number 1, keeping up with current world events. Number 2, reading more articles. Number 3, talking with someone who's more knowledgeable in a specific field. And number 4, just having a mentor. This mindset allows the richest 1% to understand how money works and what it's used for. Number 4, they aren't afraid to fail. The richest 1% aren't afraid to fail, and they even think it's necessary in order to become successful. Not everything will be easy in life, but that's the point. Because if you make mistakes, the next time you'll try, you'll avoid those mistakes that you made earlier. But that doesn't mean you'll avoid all problems, because you'll find new things that come in your way and you'll make new mistakes. The goal in life is to always elevate your problems. So for example, the problem in the past could have been, I don't have the money to buy myself a new phone, but in the future, it's which phone should I get myself this year? This is very basic, but in the second problem, money was no longer an issue. He was really just worried about what should I get myself this year instead of I can't afford this. The goal in life is really just get better problems. Number 5, they are passionate. The richest people in the world are always passionate about their projects. The reason they do this is because they know that eventually things will get very difficult, but their drive is what's going to keep them going. And I'm not saying that if you're a painter, you should only focus on painting. What I'm trying to get at is if your passion is painting, don't drop everything else and just become a full-time painter. Get a 9-to-5 job, go to work, and once you get home, instead of watching TV and wasting your time, start painting, start selling, start advertising for yourself, and then eventually someday you'll be able to transition over. But don't just drop everything and just go straight to painting. If you let yourself off easy by telling yourself, oh, I'm tired and I don't want to work, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, you're never going to achieve what you really want to. Number 6, they aren't afraid to stand out. The people among the 1% aren't afraid to stand out amongst the crowd. On the contrary, it's the only way to really become successful, by doing something new and different. They pursue their own objectives without complying with the codes of modern society. In some way, you have to be different in order to become the best. Because if you don't stand out, how will others notice you? The main point that I'm trying to get across is that if you feel like you're different than everyone else, you shouldn't feel pressured to be like everyone else. And it's perfectly okay to be misunderstood by your peers, because most of the time they won't even understand what you're trying to say, and your goals just might be too big for them to comprehend. So don't worry about their opinions, just do what you want to do and what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, you're living your own life and they're living theirs, so who really cares what they think about your life? If you know what you want and you have the desire and the drive to accomplish your goals, I firmly believe that you'll be successful in life. Number 7, they start a business. In life, most people decide to work for someone else, but unfortunately, this isn't how people become extremely rich. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with working 9-to-5 or working for someone else, but it's just if your goal is to become extremely rich where you don't have to worry about finances, you can live stress-free, and you can travel the world if that's what you want to do and just live life how you want to, working for someone else is not the way to go. Starting a business is the best way to achieve wealth. By creating a business and hiring people who work for you, you're maximizing your chances of becoming successful. Creating a business involves a lot of risk, but it's the only way to become extremely rich. Number 8, they value money. Most people just spend their money blindlessly and they just buy whatever they want, but the richest in the world take time and consideration into every purchase they make and try to see the return that they'll be getting with everything they buy. They won't just spend their money without thinking about it. They'll try to see if it'll actually bring enjoyment to their lives or if it's just temporary and it'll go away in a week or two. So pretty much stop wasting your money every weekend for a good time. It's really not worth it. Number 9, they make money in their sleep. This goes without saying, but in order to become one of the richest people in the world, you need to start making money when you're sleeping. Working 9-to-5 limits your chances of doing so because you're trading your time for money. What you should be looking for is finding a way to make money without you being there or present or in your sleep, in other words. There's so many ways of making passive income, but if you have no money coming in the first place, this will be extremely difficult. So at first, I don't want you to focus on passive income. Get a job, start saving, and then that money that you make from your job, invest it towards a passive income source. For example, you could start investing into a TFSA, but that's only one of the many ways that you can start making passive income. And finally, number 10, they're flexible. As I mentioned earlier, they're not afraid to jump onto new opportunities that arise, but what happens if they're already working on something, but then someone gives them an idea for something newer and better? It's important to be flexible and not stubborn in times like these. People are going to have better ideas than you, so there's no point in thinking that you're the smartest and not hearing them out. It's much smarter to try to understand what they're trying to tell you and implement as much as you can, or even restart what you're currently doing and use their idea if it's worth it. In conclusion, the richest 1% have a very specific mindset that has allowed them to achieve great things and great wealth. They read a lot, constantly seeking to improve, and above all, they take massive action when opportunities are presented to them. From the 10 mindset differences that I covered in this video, you'll be able to figure out where you stand and where you can improve and what you should change in order to become more like the richest 1%. Becoming rich is clearly not within everyone's reach, But to maximize your chances of doing so, you'll need to get closer to this mindset. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, that means that some of your friends might as well. It would mean the world to me if you shared this video with others who would benefit from it. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.